What's going on, friends? What's going on? This is Eric from the Free NBA Daily Bets podcast and YouTube channel. Follow all of my official bets that I actually put my hard-earned money on at Twitter at Easy Money Wins. Again, at Easy Money Wins. Follow me there, guys, for free winning information. I'm a winner, so year to date, I'm like up 21 units. No, 20. I'm up 24 units or something like that now. Because I won today with the Knicks, so I'm up 24 units year to date. The $100 better. If you bet $100 for every unit that I bet, you'd be up $2,400. Just sports betting, guys. Just literally the NBA. If you played the NFL too, you'd be up $4,000 right now. So isn't that crazy, right? Like people like I don't know, they like make fun of sports bettors and all that stuff, but literally you can win thousands of dollars betting sports if you have a winning edge, if you stay disciplined and don't chase your losses, don't do teasers, don't do parlays consistently, like don't chase your losses, don't overbet, don't take juice in the minus 115 range or higher. Like trust me, it's very doable, very doable. If like literally you just pay attention to the games a lot and get a hold of it and practice and all that stuff, you can win money doing sports betting. You can. So just had to say that. And then also today, like normally, like I have more volume than what I did today. My only play was the Knicks -4 at Orlando. Normally I have more, but I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I was like so caught up with football today. My mind was just not there to try to like really focus on the NBA. So, that's a word of advice from me. If you're going through your process and you feel like you're not in the right headspace, just stop what you're doing and do not try to handicap and break down these games, guys. Do not do it. Go for a walk. Go call somebody on the phone. Like, get your mind out of that headspace to where you can come back and be in like a subjective, even level mindset. At least that's how I try to attack it. Every single time I'm looking at these lines, I'm making sure I'm in a very good headspace. Okay, so that's my advice. Let's get it going, though, guys. Let's get it going. First game up, we have the Philadelphia 76ers at the Charlotte Hornets. For the 76ers, they just lost at home to Indiana on Friday. They lost Joel Embiid in that game, and they also lost Jared McCain in that game. Jared McCain tore his meniscus, and then our buddy Joel Embiid has a sinus fracture or whatever, so he's going to miss some time. And then Caleb Martin is also out for this game. So those three guys are out. But Philadelphia's been playing shorthanded for a while this season now, so this is nothing new to them. They still have Paul George. They still have Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre Jr., Andre Drummond, Yabu Sealy, Kyle Lowry. They're okay, guys. It's not an awful squad still. You know what I'm saying? Like, they still have some ability there. And they've won 4 out of their last 6 games, and that's not all been with Embiid either now, okay? Now, obviously losing McCain, in my opinion, that is the biggest blow, like long-term for this team, because he was giving them a lot of production off the bench. So that does hurt. That really does hurt. But anyways, let's look at Charlotte. Now, Charlotte's getting some guys back now. They lost at Chicago on Friday, and these two teams play again on Friday. The Hornets will play at Washington Thursday, and then they'll play Philly on Friday. Philly has just a 3-day break, and then they play Hornets again on Friday. So, sorry guys, I think I might get a little bit sick. I might have the NBA illness. So LaMelo Ball's questionable. LaMelo Ball might come back today. Sorry, I'm just going to, it's like midnight. I'm going to talk like it's Monday, even though I haven't gone to bed yet. So LaMelo Ball might come back. And then Miles Bridges looks like he's back too. I don't know about Trey Mann. We'll have to see what's up with him. But LaMelo is questionable. So they might have their starting lineup back, guys, which is like for the first time all year, because Nick Richards and Mark Williams, they weren't available early in the year. So this might be the first time all season they have their starting 5 there for them. So that's exciting for them. Let's take a look at the line. So it's Philly -2. And, I see some 1.5s out there too. I mean, I'm telling you guys right now, I don't know. I kind of hope LaMelo Ball comes back because he changes the whole dynamic of that team. And I don't know if it's necessarily in a great way. Like he's a very talented player, but he might mess up rhythm for them. And the 76ers, they're very accustomed to playing without Joel Embiid. Paul George has been back for a good enough time to play with Maxey, so I feel like they're in a good chemistry right now. I can only look 76ers in this spot, minus the 2, minus the 1.5. Over under is 213. And what we do know is this, guys. What we definitely know is this. Philly plays slow, even against the fastest teams in the NBA, right? So Philly played Chicago at Chicago. They won 108-100. Total of 208 is what those two teams got to. And Chicago at home, I mean, they're like the fastest paced team in the NBA. They played Indiana, and they only scored 107, and Indiana, scored 121. But that game, sorry guys, that game flew over late. I mean, Indiana was kind of having their way, but that game kind of unraveled. So I can only look under in this spot. And, man, I kind of like Hornets team total under for real. Like first half maybe. I don't know. Philly games are going to stay under, guys. They're going to be an under team this entire year. Even with low totals like that, I still think there's value on that under. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. We got like 5 games left. And the next game up, we have the Miami Heat at the Detroit Pistons. Am I saying that right? Yes, I am. I'm not going to take a look at the line. I like being surprised first. I like going through my process and then seeing like what these people are making the line. So Miami, they're on a 4-game win streak right now, guys. But that was all at home. So they won by double digits almost in every single game, except for Cleveland. They won by 9. So they're in a great rhythm right now. So they play Friday at home against Oklahoma City. So they're literally just going up to Detroit and coming back to cold Detroit. So they're healthy, they're good, except for Pele Larson. Everybody, I mean, I don't respect Pele Larson for the point spread. Sorry, Pele, but I don't. They're good. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Haywood Highsmith, Bam Adebayo, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Terry Rozier. Like they're good. They're good. Detroit now, let's take a look at them. Detroit, Tobias Harris looks like he's out. Let me see. Yeah, he's out. His hand. He's got some type of hand issue going on with him. So they still got Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Tim Hardaway Jr., Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Fontecchio, Malik Beasley, Jaden Ivey. Like they're good. They're good, guys. Okay, let's take a look. I think they lost their last game, though, and rather bad. Yeah, they did. I had a 5-unit play on them. That was really freaking annoying. They no-showed in Boston. Really freaking annoying. It's okay, though. Let's move on. They play Thursday at home against Utah. So they have 2 home games here, and then they go out west for during the Christmas, and they'll be back home for New Year's Eve. So let's take a look at the line here. And we got Pistons plus 4.5, plus 5. No, friends. That's wrong. I'm telling you, that's a Piston spot. Even though the Heat are playing really well, they played really well at home. It's their first game on the road in a week. And the Pistons no-showed. Like they should have played a lot better than what they did. So I really like the Pistons to respond well at home here. I hope this line keeps going up. I really do. See the last 2 times these 2 teams played. Because they played a couple times, I think. I think they played 2 times. So, yeah, they beat them. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the game. Okay, so last time Spoelstra was in Detroit, it was the NBA Cup game, and Spoelstra called a timeout, and he didn't have a timeout, and he cost his team the win. So you definitely know they're talking about that shit. You definitely know that. So, okay, so Miami's talking about that, and yeah, they've only played 2 times. Detroit's covered both times. They lost by 8 at Miami early in the season, and then they beat Miami on the NBA Cup night, and that's the last time they played. So, okay, so that's true. So Spoelstra is going to be up for this game, guys. He's going to be like, y'all got to bail me out. I embarrassed myself last time I was in this arena, all that. But still, even though regardless of that, I hope the line keeps going up. I hope it gets to +6. I would love it at +6. It'll definitely be a play. It's still going to be a play at +5 for me because Detroit plays so slow and they play such a defensive game, or they like to play close games that like. With a point spread like that, like I really like that. Now Detroit of late has been playing high scoring games, but that's because of like scheduling situations and the quality of offensive opponent they've been playing. Like the last 4 games have been against the 3 best teams in the East, in my opinion: Milwaukee, Boston, New York, and Boston again. And then they played Philadelphia the game before that. Now they're getting kind of an above average East team, but not quite upper echelon in the Miami Heat. That's my opinion of the Heat, at least. And they're at home. And I like the Pistons with the points, guys. I really do. Now the total is 218.5. Let's take a look, guys, at this total real quick. Okay, so I mean the Heat are in an offensive rhythm right now, but that's all been at home. When they're on the road, they only scored 89. They scored 116 at Toronto, so that's a lot. And they only scored 98 at Charlotte. And then 110 at Indiana before that. So kind of a mixed bag there. But Detroit at home, I mean, they've been giving it up recently, guys. I don't know. I'm probably going to stay away from that over-under. I don't know what I'm going to get exactly. So, but, man, Detroit plus the points, I like that, guys. I really like that tomorrow. Okay, next game up, we've got the Chicago Bulls at the Toronto Raptors. Let's see what's going on with Chicago. Chicago Bulls. They just beat Charlotte on Friday, 109-95. Oh, yeah, I was on the Bulls. First quarter, first half, full game. Thank you, Chicago. Thank you for taking care of that sorry-ass team from Charlotte. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Man, I've been gosh, guys, I'm not trying to vent on this podcast right now, but seriously, been so freaking close to, like, breaking out. I can feel it, guys. I can feel it. Like, I've picked the full game spreads correctly, and they're just like lollygagging in the first quarter, first half. I could just get a couple of those games to go first quarter, first half full game for me. We're going to really stack some units up here quickly. So Chicago at Toronto on Monday, today, and then they're at Boston on Thursday. For Toronto, let's take a look at their schedules. They are at home. This is the start of a 3-game homestand for them. They got Brooklyn on Thursday. Have these two teams played yet this year? I don't think so. No, this is their first meeting. So let's take a look at Toronto's injuries. I know they don't have Scotty Barnes. They still don't have Bruce Brown. And they still don't have Emmanuel Quickley. So let me just double check on that because ESPN isn't always accurate. Bruce Brown won't play. Quickley has begun incorporating his left arm into recent workouts, but he's still not ready for full contact drills. Okay. Scotty Barnes is out of his walking boot and moving without restriction. That's really good news for them, for Scotty Barnes. Okay, so Scotty might be back soon. Okay, so they still got Davion Mitchell, Jacoby Walter, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's been running the point, I think. Ochai Agbaji and Jakob Poeltl. So they've been playing without Scotty Barnes and all these guys for like a long time. So this isn't anything new going on here, right? It's nothing new happening. All right, let's take a look at Chicago's injury report because I know they didn't have everybody. Vucevic didn't play last game. So let's see: Vucevic, Lonzo Ball, and Zach LaVine, and Dallin Terry. Terry's questionable. Lonzo Ball's probable. Vucevic had the NBA illness. Damn. That NBA illness, man, that thing is real. He's probable. Zach LaVine is questionable. Okay. So there's some stuff to figure out there, especially with Chicago on the road, and then especially with Chicago, they're such a back and forth team. Like, look, guys, look. Literally, since like Saturday, November 9th, it's win-loss, couple 2-game losing streaks, and they win again. Seriously. Okay, so they're at Toronto. Let's see what Toronto's been doing. They're on a 4-game losing streak right now. But they play 4 really good teams. They won two. So they covered 4 out of their 5 home games. Their last 5-game homestand last week, they covered 4 out of 5 of those games. So they're playing really tough at home. And they hung okay at Miami too on Thursday. So let's take a look at the line. Sorry guys, I really like to get a full picture of what these teams are going through, so I can try to get my edge. So we got the Raptors at -1.5. Man, really? I mean, if everybody plays for the Bulls, I got to take a shot, I think. Because this is the reason why, guys. I kind of figured out a little thing into why Chicago was alternating wins and losses. Is because all their losses, like if you look, it's against the best teams in the NBA. Like, okay, so they beat Atlanta, then they lose to Cleveland. Okay, that's understandable. Okay, then they come back home. No, then they're at New York. New York's on second night of a back-to-back. They beat New York. Okay. Then they play then they play Cleveland again. They lose. Then they play Houston. They lose. Okay, then they play Detroit. That's not an upper echelon team. They win. Then they play Milwaukee. Milwaukee was in good form when they played them. They lost. Then they beat Atlanta. Atlanta was a middle-tier team when they played them on Friday, November 22nd. Then they lose to Memphis. Memphis is a juggernaut. Then they beat the Wizards. Understandable. Okay, then they lost to Orlando and Boston. All right, understandable. Then they beat Brooklyn and San Antonio. Okay, below average teams. Okay, then they lost to Indiana when Indiana was pissed off, and then Philadelphia when Philadelphia needed a win, and then they beat Charlotte. So literally, guys, they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, and they're losing to the teams they're supposed to lose to. So what do we have here? We have Toronto. They're a below average team, all right? I like Chicago here. Even though Toronto plays really well at home and like they're really feisty and they're hanging in there, Chicago's just the better roster. Like, we just need Chicago to show up tonight and play really hard. If they show up tonight and they play really hard, we're going to be good. Chicago's going to win us money. Now, I don't know if I would play in the first quarter or the first half. I don't know if I would do that. But a full game, I like Chicago to get that win, guys. Over under is at 238. And, I know Chicago's a fast team. I lean over. I mean, in Bulls games, it's hard for me to get to the under, guys. I mean, you're a brave person unless you're really good at totals, you got a knack at it. I don't know. I wouldn't bet a Bulls game under right now. I would be very cautious about doing that. Okay, next game. We got 3 games left, guys. Hey, if you're still listening at this point, please give the show a like. Drop a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really does help me get into the algorithm and all that. And, I'm doing this for free. I'm a winning sports bettor. Like, literally, if you just played my plays, you'd be up $4,000 right now. Or whatever your unit size is, Like, even if you were just betting $50 or $25, if you're just betting $25 a play, you'd be up $1,000 right now. That's crazy, right? Just $25 a play, So, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter at EasyMoneyWins. Okay, next game. Cleveland Cavaliers at the Brooklyn Nets. So we are kind of getting into the NBA trade season, right? Dennis Schroeder, he just got traded to the Warriors. I feel bad, man. I always butcher his name. I need to listen to people say it correctly. I don't know if it's Schroeder. He got traded, so he's not on the Brooklyn Nets anymore. And he was there, honestly, Cam Thomas is the best player, but Schroeder was like the best leader player on that team. And they traded him away for peanuts. Like, that's despicable. Like Brooklyn, like, what the heck are you guys doing? Like, if you're going to trade Schroeder away, like, you got to get something. I mean, they got DeAnthony Melton, but, he's older and he's coming off an injury, and I don't know, man. So, looks like Ben Simmons will run the point. They still got Cam Johnson. They still got Dorian Finney-Smith. They still got Nick Claxton. So Brooklyn's been kind of playing without Schroeder and a lot of their key role guys. Like, a lot of these guys have been playing, so it's not that big of a loss. But in my opinion, it's still a pretty big loss, guys. Because, like, just from an emotional and leadership standpoint, he was the leader. He was the leader of that team for sure. So Zaire Williams is out for this game. Cam Thomas still. They're probably going to trade Cam Thomas too. They're probably going to go full rebuild over there. They're already trading Schroeder away for peanuts. My goodness. It's gonna get ugly in Brooklyn, guys. You know what might be a good bet, man. Brooklyn Nets futures right now. Just they've overachieved a lot already this season, and they still have an okay core, a competitive core. It's not a disaster, but the way that they're going, it looks like they just might start trading everybody for real and just like really go full rebuild. So maybe their season wins under might be a really good bet right now. Let's say Thursday they're at Toronto, and they just lost 2 in a row to Milwaukee and Memphis, and they've been losing a lot recently after their little 3-game road winning streak. That was annoying because I bet against them every single time and I lost, so that was really annoying. Cleveland, let's take a look at Cleveland. They just win right now. They're 22-4. They beat Washington on Friday by 10. They're kind of lollygagging in that game. They were down, I think, in the second half, actually. So they're at home against Milwaukee on Friday. They start a 3-game homestand on Friday. Sorry, excuse me, guys. Let's take a look at the injury report. They've had some injury stuff pop up. So Max Strus is out. He's been out. Evan Mobley is still on there. Let's see what's up with Evan. He missed the last game. He's probable. He's probable with an ankle situation. So is Okoro on there? No, it looks like Okoro's good there. So let's take a look at this line right now. Let's take a look at it. Minus 9.5 for Cleveland. Plus 10.5 I see out there. Man, I like... So this is what I also do, guys, if like you're new to it, new to the show. I do use team rankings, the over-under trends, to see like who's above expectation and who the outliers are. So Cleveland against the spread is 61%. That's really not sustainable. They can't. I mean, the top team in the NBA against the spread at the end of the year, they usually are around 61%. So maybe they do keep going 61%. Maybe they do. Let's take a look at the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn is 13-12, so they're right around 500. So nothing huge there, but that kind of gives you an idea of like, hey, Cleveland may be a little overvalued. Not always, guys, not always, but I do look at that. Like you're usually going to be paying at this point in the season when there's almost like 30 games being played. The bookmakers are adjusting, okay, and they're going to be putting a tax on those teams that have been covering a lot. Like the cat's out of the bag. If you're a good team and you've been covering a lot, they're going to jack it up, guys. They're going to jack it up. So that's basically what this is here. They're saying, hey, Cleveland just keeps winning by double digits. Like we have to mark them as a double-digit favorite here, even on the road. So the Nets at plus 10.5. I can only look Nets. And like this team with Jordi Fernandez as their head coach, like he's getting a lot out of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like these guys are professional. Obviously they're professional basketball players, but they come with a professional mindset. The Nets players do, like next man up, and it really is next man up. They really do play freaking hard, and they play hard as crap at home too. Oh wow, that over under's 220. Oh man, I'm about to hit that right now. That can't be that high, guys. Brooklyn likes to play defense. Hold on. Brooklyn gave up 135 last game, but that was to Memphis. Let me see what the over-under trends are. Oh no, sorry. I was looking at over-unders, guys. So Cleveland's 16-10 over-under. So they're an over team right now, and Brooklyn's 13-12, so they're a little bit to the over too. Against the spread, Cleveland is 69%, so they're 18-8 against the spread. So that's definitely not sustainable. No team's going to finish the end of the year at 70%, 69%. Not a chance. Only problem is Brooklyn's at 62.5%. So Brooklyn's been overachieving too this year against the spread. So I don't know if overachieving is the word. They've been doing well against the spread this year. Let's say that. So yeah, I love the under there though. I really love the under there. Even though Cleveland can score and they've been running without Schroeder, first game back, like. You can't tell me the Nets are going to be in perfect sync. Even though I just said that the Nets next man up, like they really truly are the next man up. I don't expect it to be like super smooth. Like to get the 115, 105. Like that's what they think the game's going to be, 115 to 105. I definitely see that, but I could see the Nets holding the Cavaliers to around 110. So I like that under a lot, guys. I fully believe I'm going to be on that under here. When the podcast is over, I'm probably going to bet that right away. And then I lean that plus 10.5. Okay, enough of that game. Sorry, guys. I go a little bit long sometimes, but I hope I'm helping you guys out. I really do, because, I mean, I have the winning information. I really do, guys. Like, the way I look at these games, historically, publicly documented, fully transparent. Shout out to those people on Twitter that have their wins-loss record, units gained or lost in their bio, in their Google Excel sheet, in their bio, like I do. Like, I got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. You can see my last year. I bet 1,900 bets last season. You can see every single bet on the date that I did it. Just scroll down to the bottom of my tabs and look at that. Like, I literally have nothing to hide, guys. Literally nothing to hide. And, yeah, proven, man. Proven. Thousands of sports, thousands of bets in the NBA. Like, 54% NBA winning percentage. Like, it's damn good. All right, so just gave you guys some helpful information on that game. Let's go to the Nuggets and the Kings. That's the next game up. Next game up. Denver Nuggets at the Sacramento Kings. I hope this line's good, because I want to bet the Sacramento Kings already. That's what I want to bet right now. And why is that? Because they're due, guys. They've been winning, but they need to keep winning. And I'm telling you, I got a good pulse on that Mike Brown and the Aaron Fox situation and just that team in general. Like, they're not looking to break up that team, guys. As long as they keep winning, and they know that. They know that. But DeMar DeRozan went there for a reason, because he thinks he can win there. So I'm telling you right now, that Sacramento Kings team, they fully believe they can win. Okay? Like, let that be known. Like, if you think there's some type of, like, issue over there, they just had a little rough patch, okay? And then they figured it out. Now they're winning again. So I'm looking for spots to back the Kings. All right. The Nuggets, they have been playing... I can't say that it's been better. They're still a little spotty, right? They had that nice 5-game win streak at the beginning of November, and then since November 15th, they've literally been alternating wins and losses, pretty much. Just win, loss, couple losses, and then wins. And so they finally won 2 games in a row for the first time since Sunday, November 10th. They beat Atlanta at Atlanta, and they beat the Clippers at home, but they lost to the Wizards the night before Atlanta. So that kind of tells you what kind of form they're in. They're up and down. Let's take a look at the injury report. And they're at Portland on Thursday, so not a bad travel spot from Sacramento to there. Jamal Murray and Christian Braun. But I think both of them played against the Clippers. I'm like pretty positive about that. Murray's probable. Christian Braun is questionable. So it looks like both of them probably play, especially Murray. He looks like he's going to play. But everyone else is good to go with Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Russell Westbrook. They're all good to go. No concerns if you like Denver. Looks like you got the A team out there. So yeah, just like I said, guys, So they had lost 4 in a row, the Kings, in the middle of November. Then they beat Minnesota. Then they were bullshitting and lost to Portland. And then they lost to San Antonio after they were up 2. So everyone was hitting the panic button, right? Oh, they're about to trade De'Aaron Fox and all this stuff. What they do? They beat the hottest team in the NBA in the Houston Rockets the next game. Then they lost on the road at Memphis to a damn good Memphis team and took them to the brink. Like, they almost beat them. And they were up in the second half in that game. So then what they do the next day after playing a lot of minutes, they go at San Antonio and they put up 140 on San Antonio. Then what do? They come home and they smoke Utah with 141 points to 97. And then after that, they go at New Orleans. Again, those are 3 not so good teams, but still, like, they're like handling them, really taking care of business. Well, not New Orleans. I mean, they were. New Orleans came back late, but they beat them 111-109. But New Orleans, I think that's when New Orleans had everybody available to play. I think Brandon Ingram even played in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not, actually. No, Brandon Ingram didn't play in that game. They play Thursday at home. So this is the start of a 5-game homestand. Actually, they have 8 games at home out of the next 9. And they don't leave California until Friday, January 10th. They play at Golden State, which is basically a home game on January 5th, and at the Lakers on Saturday, December 28th. So I'm telling you right now, guys, this is the time to buy on the Sacramento Kings, okay? Literally, they don't leave the state until Boston. They're settled in. They got the third of the season jitters out of their system. Time to lock in and win some basketball games. Let's take a look at this spread. Oh, come on. That's crazy. This is probably going to be a 4 or 5 unit play for me, guys. Hold on. Let me look at, I didn't even look at Sacramento's injury report. Let me see. Maybe this line is, no, why? Guys, why? So this is what I'm saying, guys. This is what I'm saying. So, like, this is the way I like to look at stuff, too. If you know the playoffs, like how they make the lines for the playoffs, like the home teams, if they're supposed to win and it's against another good team, like in this case, usually they'll put the line like -4. Like basically, yeah, like how the Bucks and the Hawks were the other night in the NBA Cup. They'll just put it and the OKC Thunder against the Houston Rockets, like -5s, -4s. Sometimes -3.5, sometimes -6, somewhere around there. Those are like NBA like playoff lines, like good team against good team, kind of neutral side, or like that kind of deal. So like right now, I'm telling you right now, the Nuggets and the Kings are even talent wise, but honestly, I think the Kings have more talent, and I think I can't say I think their bench is better. I can't say that. But I don't. I think the benches aren't that far off from each other. But the starting 5 for the Kings is better than the starting 5 for the Nuggets. And then the Nuggets are on the road and the Kings are at home. Like, for this game to be a pick'em is disrespectful. The Kings should be favored in this game, no doubt about it. The Kings should be -3 at least -3 in my opinion. At least, like. It's really crazy that this line's only -1. This is going to be a 4-unit play for me tomorrow on the Kings at home with all incentives to keep winning. I'm sorry, guys. That line's crazy. That's a disrespectful ass line. Okay. Over-under is 237, 238. And so the Kings on the road, they're an under team. Last year, they were a heavy under team on the road. This season, they're still under team on the road. So at home, they like that home cooking. They shoot the ball well. They've been on a good offensive groove. Nuggets have been shooting the ball well. I can only look over in this game. Probably not going to get there though with the over. Just because I don't always trust the Nuggets in over games, but I can only look over there. All right, let's keep it going. Last game up. We got the Jazz at the Clippers. Clippers are -8.5 point favorites. Let's take a look at the Jazz's depth chart here. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They've been giving up points left and right. They've been scoring points and giving up points. The last 4 games have gone over the total. 4 straight games. They're at Detroit. So this is the start of a 5-game road trip for them. They're going east after this game, guys. They're going east to Detroit and Brooklyn. So they're healthy. They got everybody. Markkanen, Keontae George, Colin Sexton. Clarkson's questionable with his plantar fasciitis. He really might not play. He played the last game, but I don't know. That plantar fasciitis, it can spring up on you and like kind of hurt more days than other days. I feel for him. I had that injury as a teenager and in college. That sucked. Plantar fasciitis is no joke, especially in basketball. So John Collins, Walker Kessler. Okay, enough of the Utah Jazz, the annoying Utah Jazz that has potential but don't play to it. All right, the Clippers, they're coming off that loss to Denver where they're kind of BSing around. Ooh, they're on a 3-game losing streak right now. Dang. They lost at home to Minnesota on a second night of back-to-back. Then they lost to Houston at home. Then they then they lost at Denver. Wow. They go on a little road trip on Thursday for 3 games. Then they're back home and they go on another road trip They're on the road a lot here after this game. Okay, so this is a clear focus spot for them. A clear focus spot for them. Let's take a look at the depth chart. Everyone's good. James Harden, Chris Dunn, Norman Powell, Zubac, Coffee. Oh, Terrence Mann is out, it looks like, and Derrick Jones Jr. Let's take a look. Those are two key role players, guys. Yeah, Derrick Jones is out, and Terrence Mann is out. They're out for a while, guys. They're out for like the next month, probably. That's not good. Kawhi Leonard looks like he's coming back to play soon. He's logging practice minutes more and more, so who knows? Maybe in the new year we might see Kawhi. That's exciting for basketball. Okay, so let me just see where the Jazz are at. Not that it makes like a huge difference, because they're 5-19. They know they're not going anywhere. They're wondering if they're going to get traded. So they lost by 8 to Phoenix at home, but they gave up a good fight at home. They're fighting hard at home, guys. I will give them that. On the road, they're just giving it up. So they've lost 2 in a row. They've lost like 7 out of their last 8. All right, let me take a look at the. Yeah, that said line's minus 8.5. I can only look at the Clippers minus 8.5. I think they get it done. I think they cover. I think they come out and hold them. Even though the Jazz, I don't know, it's tough, man, because the Jazz, like, they can cover 8.5. They can. I'm not going to get involved with that game. Maybe Clippers first quarter, first half, and a clear focus spot for them. Come out and start fast. I do like that. Total's 224.5. I would expect the Clippers to play their kind of brand of basketball. Tough, slow down game. Hold the game under and play defense. But even if they do that, like the Utah Jazz, that's the low total. Like, they can get over that. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, they've been kind of scoring points recently. I'm going to stay off that over-under. Might be their first quarter, first half, though, on that game, on the Clippers. So, yeah, guys, that's the show. I appreciate you guys listening, as always. Yeah, I'm in a good groove, guys. I feel like I'm going to break out soon and get to like 40, 50 units within the next, like, probably 2 weeks, I think. I know that sounds kind of crazy, like, hey, to like double my units. But I'm really close, and I'm still below 53% winning percentage for the year, and that's not like me at all. So to be positive and only at like 52% winning percentage, my 4 unit players are cooking up too right now. Like, I know I'm about to break through, guys. I know I'm about to break through. So if this is like you're about to start using my bets, I think you're hitting it. I think you're at a good starting point right now. No doubt about it. I think you're in a really, really good position, because I am really feeling an outbreak coming my way. So, all right, guys. Appreciate y'all listening. See you tomorrow.